Good morning, I'm Mesdeline, and today's card is Smoke Signals, Intent. This is a really important message today. Attributes of smoke signals are focus, aim, working with purpose and perspective, employing drive and ambition, using single-mindedness, living with conviction and decisiveness. Challenges are making no goals, having no aims, never completing or mastering a lesson, fearing to create an effect, having too many irons in the fire, having no interest or focal point. The smoke signals in the Sky Nation are calling for you to notice the faces of the cloud people. Look skyward and see the medicine helpers who appear in the clouds to ease your troubled heart or weary mind. Confusion and frustration are quelled when your heart hears the whispers of your personal allies. These are the guardians who assist you in clearing away the confusion in order to restore your clear intent. Move past the smoke screen and aim high now. It may be time to state your true intentions about discovering your personal truth. Without a purpose, the Pathfinder inside of you has no direction or too many directions. Lack of direction can cause frustration or self-delusion. When you have admitted to yourself exactly why you are following a certain path, it may be easier to follow that path to completion, ensuring wisdom or mastery. On the other hand, you may choose to change your course or to acknowledge that another person's intention has influenced your choices. If you've played follow the leader in order to be admired or accepted, stop. Look at how that choice has affected your life and reinstill your heart's true desire. You may choose to make a list of the actions you have taken that involve the intentions of others. Then write down how those actions have added confusion to your original intent. The smoke signals card can also be a type of warning flag marking the life signals that will keep you from following a crooked trail. If your intent is clear, you may need to watch the actions of others rather than believing their words. The web of confusion is often woven when we depend upon others who talk a good game but demonstrate nothing. I've talked about that before, walking your talk. Another message of smoke signals is strictly personal. It may be time to examine the signals you are sending to others with your words or actions. Do you talk about your intentions yet lack the strength to follow through? If so, call upon the allies by sending your prayers through smoke to the Sky Nation. Observe the sky and changes in the clouds, the creature beings who enter your space while you are watching, and be sure to listen with your heart. In all cases, smoke signals is asking you to be clear and focused, find the truth in every situation, and insist that the beauty of your individual talents be given a chance to live and grow inside of that truth. The original intent of a great mystery was to create beauty that would live in truth and harmony with all other parts of the whole. In this manner, there is no need for imitation or envy. Every part of creation has a separate intent and goal that will feed the whole. All life forms have aimed their arrows toward their targeted goals of wholeness. A sure course for each person is assured if the intent is pure. All of the creation has a common intent, which is to grow and evolve. Each part of creation expresses that aim through the personal right to be. Intent creates cause and is followed by action. The result of that action produces effect. We are asked to be mindful of the effects we create in our world, knowing full well that those effects are products of our original intent. So first I want to talk a little bit about smoke. I think that some cultures believe that smoke carries messages to the heavens, to like the Native Americans' Great Spirit. I've seen it in other cultures too, where they use smoke to carry their intentions, their messages. And you might notice a lot of times in sacred circles, spiritual gatherings, that candles are lit. And it's not just because they're pretty. So when I light a candle, I like to have a candle when I have a gathering like that, and at least one candle. And when I light it, I set the intention that this gathering be to the highest will and good of all involved, and the highest will and good of the universe, of Mother Earth. Just whatever, whatever comes out of my... Sometimes I say it out loud. If I'm alone, I usually say it out loud. If I'm not, I might say it inside, depending on the situation, depending on the gathering. Sometimes I say it out loud. Then, so it's important to set that intent. And then as you gather, and whether you're there by yourself or have a gathering, then as you do what you came to do, your intentions are being carried to the heavens. And sound is also a good method. Drumming, the Native Americans drum and the Africans drum, and every culture has some type of flat drum that is used, and sometimes a round drum, sometimes a drum made out of a log, whatever. There's all kinds of drums, and the sound of the drums carries your desires, your intentions to Great Spirits. So I feel that it's really important to state your intention. I journal, and so I believe in writing things down. A teacher long ago, when I was learning, in less than 3 months, I learned all the bones and all the muscles of the body, had them all memorized, all their origins and insertions. And each bone has like things on it, like every knob on the bone has a name, every little dent in the bone has a name, and they're not like names like that are easy, right? they're weird names. Anyway, I memorized there's 600 and something muscles, there's 200 and something bones, and I memorized all of them and all of their connections and all. I mean, it was an enormous undertaking. And the way I did that was I had the intent, of course, to learn. But a friend of mine who was a professor told me that if I wanted to memorize something, to look at it, all right, look at the name of the bone, and then say it out loud, and then write it down. So I'm using my visual, audio, and kinesthetic, all three ways of learning. I'm telling you what, it works. So writing things down can be life-changing, because you're seeing it. First of all, you have the thought. Then if you're memorizing something, you look at it and then write it down. But if you're not memorizing something, say it out loud. My overall intention for my life is to bring as much love into the world as possible, to be as unconditionally loving as a human as I can possibly be. That's my overall intention. My overall intention is love. And then for each of my other things that I do, I have an intention, right? An intention to bring in healing energy, an intention. As I write a story, my intention is to entertain. Or when I write an article, my intention is to educate and maybe entertain also, right? Or to inspire. I set my intention. So this card is reminding me that even though I said it, I could do more. And that is to say it out loud and to write it down. So as I do that, it makes a more firm commitment on that intention, so that I don't make an intention, because I'm a person who has, as it said, too many irons in the fire. And And so sometimes my path gets crooked or confused. And so it's important to set the intentions. So this is a great reminder to me. And it's just a wonderful tool to use in your life. Like before you go into a meeting, for instance, I might possibly have an interview coming up. My intention would be to answer the questions to the best of my ability and in a way that brings information and perhaps more into the meeting, right? And I haven't given it a lot of thought, you can tell, but I will before I step into that meeting if it happens. So set the intention. And then once you have that intention, like say you have to take a test, set the intention to, so what I do, and I do say that out loud, is I know the answers. I know they're in my brain. My intention is to be able to access those answers so that I can pass this test. And there's more to it. I say more, depending on the test and so forth, the subject matter and all that. But I set that intention. And so back to the muscles and the bones, that was when I was 30 and I was getting my massage license. And I went into the state boards, and I have test anxiety, huge, always have had. And I set the intention, and I was very clear about it. I had to drive to Portland. While I was driving, I just thought about that intention. Before I took the test, I took a deep breath, went inside, set the intention that I will be able to access the information. I passed that test. You had to get at least 70%. I had 72%, one of my lowest scores ever on a test. But I put more information in my brain in 3 months than as you can't even imagine how much information I put into my brain, because there's a lot more than the muscles and the bones. And I passed that test because I set that intention. I knew I had the information in there. It was just a matter of accessing it. I came out of the test, and I met people who were there for the 5th time, the 7th time, many that were there for the 2nd or 3rd time. And so I didn't have real high hopes. So when a few weeks later, when I got in the mail, I got the results, I was ecstatic, right? First you take the written exam, then you have to go up and actually do the physical exam. It's very traumatic to someone who at that time was very, very shy. So anyway, setting intentions can make all the difference, okay? And I hope that this is helpful to you. I know it's been a huge help to me. And it's not just setting the intention, but reminding yourself of that intention. Every day I remind myself to be a loving human being. So depending on what's going on in your life, set that intention, drop away things that, intentions that you've had that might be influenced by other people, and just get connected to your higher guidance, your higher self, God, the universe, Great Spirit is what I call it, or Creator, and set an intention that's for you, that's a pure intention for you and what your desire is to bring into your life, into the world, to make your life a better place, okay? Hope that helps. See you tomorrow. Or maybe not. I might take the day off.